how to get rid of fear and anxiety. There's a lot of that going on right now. And if you've been experiencing that, I can understand. Maybe I've experienced a little bit of that myself. There are ways that you can get away from it though and live a victorious life through Jesus Christ. There's a portion of scripture I want to share, very familiar, in the book of Isaiah. It says, "But thou will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee." That's what everyone today is desiring, is peace. And one of the only ways you can truly have peace is if you have it in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit. Because the world's not going to have peace. It's going to bring tribulation, trials, and problems. But you can have peace through Jesus Christ. And it says, if your mind is stayed upon him. I have a pet therapy dog. Her name is Dolly. When I was training Dolly to be a pet therapy dog, it was 6 weeks of training. The first command I believe she had to do was sit. And the way that you train an animal is with food. I would have a treat in my hand. Dolly would be standing up in front of me, looking at the treat, and I would say, "Sit." She wouldn't sit. She would just be staring at the treat. It was usually a weenie that had been cut up into several different pieces. "Sit," staring at the treat. But when I would say, "Dolly," she would look up at me. And then I would say, "Sit," and she would hear me, and she would sit. And that's exactly what you have to do to obtain peace. People say, "I want peace, I want happiness, I want $1 million, I want a better life," but they're looking at the prize. They're looking at what they want the desired outcome to be when they are not looking to the source. If you want a better life, you have to take the steps to make that better life. And if you want peace, you have to look to the source, and he is the Prince of Peace. So quit looking at the problems. Quit looking at the tribulation. Quit looking at the viruses. Quit looking at all of these things that bring turmoil and tribulation and fear, and look to Jesus Christ, because he is the source. When she quit looking at what she wanted and she looked to the source, which was her master, that's when she received what she wanted. And that's exactly what you must do, is quit looking to what you want in life and look to the source, which is Jesus Christ. You say, "Well, Chaplain Reese, what if that don't work?" And I agree, it's easier said than done. Well, I've got an example with that too. What if Dolly did not sit? Even when I had the treat and I said, "Dolly, sit. Dolly, sit." There were times when she still would not sit, even when I tried to redirect her attention on the source instead of the desired outcome. And basically, all I would do, and there were people that laughed at me for this, or thought it was funny, thought it wasn't going to work. But I would stand there and say, "Dolly, sit. Dolly, sit. Dolly, sit." 5 times, 10 times, however many times that it took. But eventually, she would get the message that she was not going to get that treat from the source unless she sat down, or whatever command it was that I was giving at that time. And eventually, even if it was after 2 times, even after it was after 5 times, 10 times, eventually she would sit. And you are the same way. You have fear, you have anxiety, you have anger, you have addiction, you have all of these things, and you try to overcome them. You try to redirect your attention and say, "God help me," whatever the case may be. if you don't receive the desired outcome after you have made an attempt to overcome this, then you give up and say, well, you get angry and you throw something. You say something you shouldn't say. You give in to the temptation. Well, I've experienced the same things. I'm just like anyone else. I have gotten angry in the past, just not really recently, but I have got upset. When I felt myself getting angry and doing something or saying something that I knew I shouldn't do, I would simply say, stop it. In my mind, stop it. Stop it. And then all of a sudden I would calm down, and I may begin to get upset again, just feel rage, like I want to do something, and I just tell myself, stop it. I'll quote a Bible verse, or there's been a lot of times I tell myself, hey, you're a child of God, you're a Christian, you're a minister, you don't act like this. That's what I have to tell myself. That's what I tell my children all the time when they act like they know that they should. You are a Christian. You are a Reese kid. You don't act like this. I have to redirect, and sometimes it takes over and over and over. But if I continue to get angry and I throw something, or I tell somebody off, I do something that I should not do, then I've lost. But the key is being patient and being persistent. Stop it. Quote a Bible verse. Stop it. You're a child of God. You're a Christian. You don't act like this. You don't do. And eventually, okay, it's a struggle and it's a battle sometimes. But eventually, you gain control over yourself. And in all reality, if you are keeping yourself from doing something that you know that God would be displeased with, it's not you are taking control, it's you are giving God control. And that's another thing. And it is important to say, God, please help me. God, please help me. Then if you've got that anger, God, please help me, you've got a spirit that's resisting Him. But you have to say, if you're angry, say, God, please help me, and receive His help. Don't resist it. So that's how I have people contact me all the time. Pornography problems, addictions, and habits. I just can't quit. I just can't stop. You need to say, stop it. This is not me. This is going to destroy my family. This is destroying me. This is causing all these problems. God, please help me. Quote a verse. And the more you resist it, the more you push it away, the further away it gets and the easier it gets for you to overcome it. Don't live in fear. Live in faith. Don't trust in the world. Trust in God. You can overcome through Him and Him alone. This may have sounded somewhat like a self-help video, but it's not. I'm telling you that thou wilt keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. Keep your mind on God. Continue to pursue peace, and you can overcome the fear, anxiety, and emotions that try to plague you. Now, this is a bonus, okay? I didn't share this. Let me back this camera up. It's cutting the top of my head off. It still is. Now you're not going to be able to hear me because I'm too far away. All right, check this out. Going back to what I was saying about stop it. What happens is the Bible talks a lot about the flesh, about carnality, about the lust of the flesh, and how it's enmity, it's the enemy of God, the flesh is. And what the problem is that too many people has allowed the flesh to overcome the spirit. And that's why so many people are going away from God. That's why so many people are falling into sin, and that's why so many people are cold in their soul. They've let the flesh take over the spirit. Understand this. What basically happens when you think about it is your body becomes your mind. You don't think for yourself. God doesn't think for you. His laws and precepts aren't ruling and reigning in your life. It's your body that does what it wants to do. Take me, for instance. During this COVID-19 and social distancing, all of these things, I have completely gotten off of schedule from what I was on before. And now, when the alarm goes off, my body makes the decision to lay there and sleep a little bit longer, instead of me knowing what is truly right, getting up and praying, reading the Bible, seeking God, taking care of things. Instead of doing that, I don't make the decision, my body makes the decision. When someone partakes in a sinful habit, they're letting their flesh take over. And that's why you have to do spiritual things to kill the flesh and put it down, so that you can live in victory through Jesus Christ. When a man or a woman, an example is, there was a man that I noticed one time, and he was getting angry, he was throwing a fit, he was trying to do mechanic work, and he was having problems. He was cussing, he was slamming doors, he was throwing tools, all of these things. Everybody knows that's not right, that's not healthy. I looked at him across the field and I said, that guy has got some serious problems. And he should have known that doing those things would accomplish nothing. But he did them anyway. Why? It's because somewhere along the way, he has lost control of his emotions. And when he lost control of his emotions, he lost control of his body. Now, what's so dangerous about this is that he could actually physically hurt someone if they made him mad. With the child of God, it may not be that extreme, but it can get you out of the will of God and cause problems. So you need to crucify the flesh. You need to die daily and let Jesus Christ live in you. The Apostle Paul said, "Yet not I, but Christ liveth in me." So what we see here in this video is you have to redirect your attention from what you desire to the source that is going to get you those desires. And the reason why I said earlier a new house is because you can't say I want a new $500,000 house and work a regular job. You have to put forth an effort and do something that's going to earn you enough income to buy that. And it's the same way with peace. You can't say I want peace, I want peace, I want peace, and not look to the source, God, for peace. And to get that and obtain that, sometimes you have to train yourself. You have to have self-discipline, self-awareness to say, this is what I want and I'm going to take the steps to do it. My mind and my body, it wants to go this way, but I'm in control because I put God in control, and I'm going to let that lead and guide my life. And it will bring you to a path of victory, to where not only you have victory, but you will be able to reach out your hand and help others receive this victory. So with me, an update, I haven't done a video in a long time. My schedule has just been thrown into chaos with homeschooling my children, with working in the evenings, and then we've been doing work on our homestead that has just thrown my schedule. And I could do these videos in the morning like I'm doing this right now. It's still early, but a lot of times I don't feel like doing videos in the morning. It's just, I've got to feel like doing it. But I am still living for God. I am still here from you. I hope you like my coronavirus haircut, my COVID-19 haircut. I appreciate, I had someone that watches who sent me $500 a while back, and because of the fact that I'm not working as much and things is happening, expenses, I want to say thank you so much for that. That was a great help. Thank you for that blessing, and I pray God blesses you in return, and everyone else that's watching. You don't have to send me money for me to help you or pray for you. That's not what this is about. But I hope today I've said something to help you and bless you. Don't forget to read your Bible and pray every day. Don't forget, I love you and appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. The other day, someone saw a snake down here. Oh, it's a roadrunner. Someone saw a snake at our pond, so I've set out a snake trap to try to catch it. Listen to that. It's a huge bullfrog. I'm gonna see if I've got a snake in the trap. Let's go. It's right here. Oh, there's no snake. What a disappointment. I just put an egg in a minnow trap. We'll check back later. See, these right here. This is a moringa tree. This is a moringa tree. I planted them. Look them up. Tadpoles. There's gonna be so many frogs in here. And where there's frogs, there are snakes. This is a cypress tree. I bought this at the flea market last year for $5. I was gonna say, look at this, it's got cones coming up on it, but that's something else. But this is the fence, was all tore up, and I cut trees down. Well, it's been a couple of days, but I'm gonna go out here and check this snake trap that I set out the other day. I'm gonna take the cheap shotgun just in case. We got one in there. Look, that looked like there was one up beside it. I thought I seen another head sticking up out of the water. It may have been a turtle, but it may have been another snake too.
I wonder why it won't eat the egg.
Look at that. I don't think it's poisonous.
Why won't it go off?
I don't know why it didn't eat the egg, but maybe it was just being curious. It don't have a diamond-shaped head. It's got a round-looking head.
Well, it ain't round, but no, it's not round.
You know what? That's a big old snake. How long do you think that is?
Oh, it's only about 3 feet long.